Beat this whole thing. So on day 13, I set out my goal to get 50 to 100%, the entire second half of Cycles X. It would combine several of the hardest parts of the level all into one run, which would be a serious undertaking for me. However, literally the most unexpected thing happened. An hour and a half into day 13, I started playing from 46% just to get used to the transition between the weird ball corridor and Voxicat's part. And for some reason, I just didn't die for the rest of the run. I don't know how this happened, but I think my reaction really shows how this moment felt for me. What the heck just happened? I just didn't die for the rest of the run. I don't know how this happened, but I think my reaction, even trying to go for that run. Okay, second half of the level down. I guess that means my next goal would be to get through the first half of the level, which would not come nearly as easily as the second half did. My notes for day 13 to day 18 were all just midstream, not gonna lie. 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 Midstream. Yeah, it turns out that the beginning of Cycles X is really hard to get consistent at. The very first part is technically the hardest part of the level when you're just looking at frame windows. It has the most frame perfects of any individual part of the level, and really I should have nerfed this since it makes playing from zero feel impossible sometimes. But it's one of those things where because the really hard part is in the beginning of the level, it doesn't really matter because I can just keep dying over and over and grinding and just keep trying it over and over. If this part was at the end of Cycles X, dude, Cycles X would literally be like a top 10 extreme demon because these clicks are ridiculous. Any part at the end of a level is automatically harder just due to the nerves of being at the end of the level. Hence why I personally consider the final robot to be the hardest part of Cycles X, even though it's technically easier than the beginning when you're just looking at frame perfect clicks. If you need statistical proof that the first part of the level is really hard, look at this statistic. Of the 53,363 attempts that Cycles X took me to eventually complete, 19,996 of those deaths were in the first 10% of the level. Yeah, looking back, I really should have balanced this better. Anyways, that part is followed by another difficult cube part, this time decorated by Vilt, the winner of the Cycles X Creator Contest. Beautiful decoration aside though, this part features some very awkward cube timings. Will I ever become consistent at this part? Yeah, maybe when pigs fly. Oh, there are flying pigs in Cycles X. Ninkaz's part is really confusing at first, but after you play it enough, it actually becomes really consistent. This is honestly the only part of the level I feel like I actually got fully consistent at by the end of the journey. So yay, at least Cycles X has one consistent part. It's very short, however, and it's followed by Troid's pot. Now, Troid, with all of his Australian glory, did do an amazing job at decorating this part. He actually had nothing to do with the gameplay at all, but I still like to address this as Troid's part whenever I complain about the gameplay. So Troid, I promise I don't hate you, but gosh darn it, Troid, your part in Cycles X is so hard, it never gets consistent. Why are the quadruple spikes so tight? Why did you do this, Troid? It just has ended off. This part may be short, but oh my goodness, I just died here so many times. I'd get through all of the difficult stuff in the intro and be like, yes, this is my chance to finally get a drop attempt. Let's do it. Then boom, Troid's part would hit me like a gosh darn Mack truck. If any of you guys play Cycles X, you need to let me know if this part is actually really hard or if I'm just like not good at it for some reason. But yeah, all these parts make up the first third of Cycles X. This level breaks up really nicely into thirds actually. Like you have 0 to 33, 32 to 67, then 67 to 100. Like it's literally 3 perfect thirds. You couldn't divide 100 up any nicer than that. That's really satisfying and unintentional, but like really pleasant. Anyways, we know that I already had 42% and 46 to 100% at this point, but there's just that 4% gap separating these runs. And I really need to combine them so I can say that I have Cycles X down to 2 runs officially. And you think adding an extra 4% wouldn't be that hard, but to be honest, me even getting that 42% run earlier was very, very lucky. I would need to get through all of Devilmine, all of Vilt, Ninkaz, Troid, and Spark's part again without dying. And like I mentioned before, days 13 to 18 were simply just bad. I couldn't even get to 42 again any of those days, let alone 46%. This lack of progress really started to frustrate me, but it would all pay off on day 19, when I finally got past 42 again, surprisingly making it all the way to 50%. 50%! 50%! Yes! all the way to 50%. Yes! I now officially had my new hardest extreme demon down to 2 runs. But that did not mean I was consistent. The next 7 streams would once again all be flops. I got absolutely no notable runs, and I just couldn't believe it. All I was doing was hopelessly grinding, playing the same thing over and over, just hoping for those 1 lucky attempts every day. And I was able to get through individual parts, but I just couldn't like string it together and get these nice big runs. This was also when I noticed a really weird pattern where I would just like absolutely suck for a full week straight, then just have like 1 or 2 streams of being like locked in, getting the greatest runs ever. I'm top 1, better than Zoink, better than Doggy. Like I would be on top of the world. And then after those 2 good days, 7 days of nothingness again. It was so weird and really frustrating. A good example of this is day 27. I was just practicing the level like normal, you know, no big deal. And then I got the most insane run I could ever imagine. 33 to 100%. Oh my god! Oh my gosh! What? What is going on? I don't know what that was about, but it gave me a glimmer of hope that I so desperately needed at this point. I just got through 2/3 of the level in 1. Astonishing 0 good runs. Like, I wasn't even getting close to any new bests, and I also wasn't even getting close to getting any 33 to 100% runs again, which means the first time was really just pure luck. 38 days of playing this level, and every time I opened it up, it felt like I was playing it for the first time ever. It got so bad that I had to start using an ice pack on my finger because I would be clicking so often for so long every day. It was becoming abundantly clear that Cycles X is just not your average extreme demon. Not a single other level I've beaten is even close to the difficulty of Cycles X, and I just don't think my skill level was ready for a level like this. But hey, I was already 38 days deep. I wasn't gonna give up now. Even if I wasn't getting any big runs, at least I was getting slightly more consistent with each individual part. And all of that practice would finally start to pay off on day 39 when I broke a personal record, 14 drop attempts in 1 stream, and one of those drop attempts stood out from the rest. I finally made it to Voxicat's party. Day 40 of Cycles X. It seems like my little day out in Amish country really ruined my consistency because day 40 did not start off really good. I was low-key fumbling for like an hour and a half and it was just not a good stream. Dang, bro, I don't feel locked in today. It sucks because I was doing good earlier on stream. Now it's got to push through though. We do bad right now. Next thing you know, I get a God attempt. Boom, 70%. And literally in this same attempt, that God attempt I spoke of struck me like a lightning bolt. I made it all the way to Twister Dude for the 2nd time ever. Actually managed to get through it, which led me into Loltad's impossible ball part, which I also passed? What? Hold on, no way I do this robot too, right? This is the hardest thing in the whole level. Am I actually about to beat this right now? There's just no way. What? Oh my god. If that was 0.19% sewer, this would be a different reaction right now. What? I seriously don't know how this happened. I mean, literally just a few days ago, I was complaining how I like seemingly forgot how to play Geometry Dash. And now I was 7% away from beating Cycles X entirely? Perhaps this was just pure luck or even some sort of divine intervention. But one thing is for certain, and that was me just feeling like I did not deserve this run. Chat, I'm just not feeling it, bro. Oh, I don't know. I'm just confused. Like, I feel like after getting 93%, I should feel like super motivated right now. Like, oh my gosh, I'm almost there. Like, I don't feel like I'm almost there. Like, I genuinely like feel like I did not deserve that attempt. I fluked the 2 hardest parts of the level, like out of nowhere. Like, I feel like the odds of me getting there again and actually getting through that is so low that I'm just gonna end up getting stuck there and have like a mind block. Like, I don't know. It's kind of a big assumption because maybe I'll end up just doing really good, but I don't know. I just feel so demotivated. Like, I should feel more motivated than ever, but I feel quite the opposite, in fact. Like, even now, like if I go to a star position and like the odds of me actually getting through it, even in a star position, are like 1 in 10. How did I do that from 0 and do the robot after as well? Like, I just don't get how I did that. Like, I just feel like I didn't deserve it. Like, there's so many things that could have went wrong that didn't. And like, I just feel like the odds of me actually getting that far again are so incredibly low. But now, like, that I already got that far, that's like this huge expectation I'm putting on myself. Like, okay, I already got there. I gotta get there again every day now. Like, that's just not realistic. Like, I'm just scared that I low-key have like another month of this journey left and I just don't even realize it yet. Don't worry, Vortrox. You actually have 2 months left. That 93% run weirdly might have been the worst thing that happened to me throughout the entire journey. Because jumping from a 76% record all the way to 93% without anything in between meant that any run not higher than 93% was essentially worthless. Never again would I get the satisfaction of getting a new best run in the 70s, 80s, or even low 90s. The only way I could get a new best is if I get 94 or higher. And at that point, dying at like 95 or 96 is just like a really bad fail rather than a yay new best type of thing. So throughout the next few weeks, I would cycle between pretty consistent days where I'd occasionally make it as far as like 70 or even 80% if I was lucky, then days of barely even making it to the drop. That is until day 53, which would be a big day because that officially tied Cycles X with Time Extreme as the most amount of streams ever spent on one extreme demon. Day 53 started off pretty mid as usual, but it quickly turned out to be one of the most important streams of the entire journey. And it's all because someone challenged me to get 1% on Grief. And I said, screw it. Why not? Do the first spam in Grief? Bro, low-key, why not at this point? What the? Yo, 1% on Grief. Nah. We gotta roll with that. Okay. Now let's carry that into Cycles X. How about it? I carried that positive energy into Cycles X and immediately got 57%. No, dude, 57% right after 1% on Grief. It's all Grief. No. Okay, let's roll with that. Let's roll with that energy. That's the type of energy that I was looking for. This really marked a turning point in the stream, especially because normally, like, if I got one good attempt of like 72% or 75%, that was it all day. I was allowed one good attempt a day, and it was really annoying. But this time I made it to 72% not once, but twice. Wait, what? And I wasn't stopping there. I made it all the way to Twister Dude yet again, and instead of failing to a silly ball click, I actually passed it, finally being given another chance to pass Loltad from 0. No! Gosh! 84. Second highest attempt ever, I think. 84, dude. Yeah, I got 84. At this point, I was just trying to ignore the fact that that 93% run ever happened so that I could feel happier about runs like this. Because even if 84 wasn't a new best, it was still an insanely good run, especially considering that only a few months ago, I couldn't even get through Loltad's part in a start position. And normally after a good day like this, the next couple streams would just suck for no reason, again going back to that pattern I mentioned earlier. But finally, that did not happen. Just 2 streams later, I broke another personal record, getting 36 drop attempts in one stream. None of them were particularly far, but the fact that I was finally becoming consistent enough to at least get through the beginning third of the level this often was so valuable. The more times I got to the drop, the more times I had a chance of really locking in and getting huge attempts, or even beating it. On day 56, something unbelievable happened. On one of my many drop attempts, I actually made it through Loltad for the second time ever. I fully expected to die at the robot robot choke point since it surprisingly still hasn't happened, but no. I would perfectly time every robot jump and make it to the short ball section yet again. Finally, my opportunity to rather beat the level or at least get a new bet. That has ruined my whole day. That has ruined my whole day. I'm ending stream. Yo, that has ruined my whole day. I mean, if I'm gonna try to look at this positively, at least I made it to 93 again. Having that as my record no longer felt like some crazy fluke, but it's like, did I really need to die there twice? Like, in that stupid little ball section, I could have died to the really hard, tight strafe at the end, or the really hard robot before that, but I died to the little miniature ball part in between. Like, that's just one of those unnecessary things. Literally, the only thing separating me from victory was 3 more ball clicks and then the scary final ship section. But there was one issue. I had to leave for a week-long vacation to New Jersey in only 3 days. I've been going crazy with these last few streams. The last thing I needed was to not play for an entire week and lose all of my consistency. So this meant I could only do one thing. Lock in and play all day, every day before that trip. I want to go on vacation and relax. I don't want to sit there thinking about, oh, I didn't verify Cycles X, and when I get back, I still have to do it. No, I want to be able to just relax, knowing that I achieved my hardest Geometry Dash level. I was more motivated than ever, and on day 57, I felt like there was a huge chance of me beating Cycles X. I got 93 twice. I was breaking drop attempt records every day. I had only 2 days left before vacation. 93 twice. Thousands of people are watching me. Only 2 days left before a vacation that would ruin my consistency. 93 twice. A million people waiting for me to verify this. I've gone way over schedule with this level. I was about to leave for vacation. What if I couldn't do this? Dude, I don't feel good right now, chat. Oh my god, I don't know what's wrong with me. I like actually feel sick right now. Hold on. I'm like sweating and I feel like weird. But like I can't take a break because like tomorrow's the last day for my trip, bro. I really wanted to give it my all today. I don't know what's up with me. I feel like so like physically ill right now. Like I can't be sick. I don't know what would have got me sick, but I just like, dude, I can't even talk right now, bro. Yeah, my bad, chat. I love y'all, bro. I love y'all. Thank you guys so much for the support, man. This was potentially the worst I've ever felt in my entire YouTube career. The amount of pressure I was feeling to verify Cycles X in just 2 days before my vacation was really starting to add up, and it all just hit me all at once on day 57. And I was feeling anxiety like I never felt before on stream. Look, I know my job is just to play a silly cube game and make videos about it, and trust me, it's my dream job. I would not want to be doing anything else. But sometimes when you have thousands of people watching you every day and you feel like you're underperforming in front of them all, it gets to you. I usually just try to shrug it off, but this was the first time that I've spent 5 months on one level. And I just felt so scared that I was like boring you guys to death. And especially because I knew there was only 2 days left before my week-long vacation, I just felt like so much pressure, and for some reason it just like really hit me that day. So when I went live on day 58, I tried to like alter my mindset and just like remind myself, I don't have to beat it right now. Cycles X will still be here when I get back from vacation, and if people really hated and were so bored of my streams at this point, there probably wouldn't be thousands of people watching. My goal is just to go live, have fun with chat, and give it my all. If I verify it, I verify it, great. And if I don't, I don't. And that's exactly what I did on day 58. I actually streamed twice that day, and I got some decent runs like 81% and 74%, but I just couldn't close the gap. At least I was able to have fun in New Jersey finding horseshoe crabs, greatest animal ever, by the way, ate really unhealthy fried foods, and had some fun in the sun. Moving on to day 59. After 2 weeks of not playing Cycles X, I was finally ready to give it a go again. And I know my vacation was only 1 week, but I just kind of felt burned out, so I took like an extra week off from Cycles X and just did other stuff. So it came out to 2 weeks total of not playing Cycles X at all. Not good. Because of the extended break, my return stream wasn't really that great, but again, that's to be expected after 2 weeks of ignoring the level. On day 60, I would regain some of the consistency I had before the trip, getting quite a few drop attempts and even a 75% run. And on day 61, I managed to get to 79%. Ah! 79, chat. Ah! Again, not too shabby. I expected it to take a lot longer for me to get consistent at the level again, but I was able to do it in only a couple days. I think we are so back. It got even better on day 62 when I would make it through Loltat for the 3rd time ever. But inevitably, I finally died to the robot. Oh my god. It had to happen. There was no way I beat this. There was no way there's no universe where I was gonna verify Cycles X without dying to this robot. It had to happen. Miraculously, I would make it through Loltad yet again, but I wouldn't get so lucky with the robot today. Oh my gosh. Again, this is probably the hardest click in the level, so fair enough. This really is closer to how I expected the Cycles X journey to go. Like, I thought that I would just be dying to the robot, like, over and over again. But, you know, 60 days in, I finally died there for the first time and then a second time as well. I kept on pushing through the stream, hoping for another lucky attempt, but my luck capped at the robot that day. It didn't matter, though, because day 63 would somehow be even better. It feels like I finally broke that cycle of just having, like, one good stream, full week of terribleness. One good stream, full week of terribleness. Like, we were so back and, like, actually being consistent this time. Like, dude, there was a light at the end of the tunnel. It was amazing. As soon as I started stream, I got a nice 67 to 100% run. Then an hour later, I got 75% and 76% in back-to-back attempts. This amount of consistency was unheard of at this point, and it was really starting to feel like it was a matter of when I can beat Cycles X instead of if I can beat Cycles X. Let's backtrack. On day 56, I got 93%. On day 58, I got 81%. On day 60, I got 75%. Day 61, 79%. Day 62, 88%. Day 63, 76%. Literally every day I was getting insanely far runs, usually only dying by like 1 pixel whenever I failed. This victory was coming really soon and I knew it. So on day 64, I planned to stream for as long as I could while I still had this consistency. And unfortunately, I was stuck at the ship choke point for some reason. I just kept dying to the 60s over and over, which was really annoying for me. A lot of deaths in that ship today. But what I didn't realize in that moment is that I was dying to the 60s a lot. The 60s. To die that far into the level this many times means that I was essentially fully consistent at the first half of Cycles X. There wasn't a single day throughout this entire journey where I wouldn't get stuck at this 36% click or Tride's part for a while. But on day 64, I was breezing through them. In fact, I made it to the drop 54 times in this stream. One of those drop attempts would be at 85%, which kind of upset me.
Kind of upset me.
But I knew that I couldn't let that stop me. If there was ever a day I felt confident enough to beat Cycles X, it was today. 64 streams, 160 hours of playtime, and after 53,363 attempts, I did the impossible. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the verification of Cycles X. Wait, the UK has 5 different countries? You gotta be lying, chat. I've never heard that before. Wait, so what are the other 4 countries? I thought the UK was just England. Yes! 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 Thank you, God! Thank you, God! Oh my God! Level of coins for everyone! Oh my God! I did it! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
I'm actually confident that this is certainly a list demon.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
I'm actually confident that this is certainly a list.
Ow! We got got Cycles X rated! Let's see what the fans have to say about me verifying Cycles X. Let's go.
Vortrax, I'm gonna have a child with you.
What?
I steal cheese. You can't catch me. Hee 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 hee. I steal cheese. You can't catch me. Hee 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 hee.
देखूंगा, मैं नहीं जाने वाला थिएटर वेटर। पायरेट करो, डाउनलोड करो, देखो। अरे यार
हो रहा है ना
3D गॉगल सारे ने लाने नहीं दिया, पता है। मुझे तो चाहिए था यार 3D गॉगल। भाई
I hate being lazy. Completed. Hello bro, welcome again.
पूछो यार भाई, तो इतनी महंगी टिकट है, उसके बाद वो 20 रुपए का गॉगल वो भी ले जाने नहीं दे रहा हूँ।
Minecraft खेल लेंगे। ये गेम में चाह रहा हूँ उससे सब्सक्राइबर आ जाए। Five star.
अरे ले सकते हैं भाई।
Good lord. Resident Evil 0 खेल सकते हैं। We can play Resident Evil 0. Resident Evil 0 में व्यूज आएंगे नहीं आएंगे पता नहीं, लेकिन मैं चाह रहा हूँ उस पर वीडियो बनाया जाए Resident Evil के गेम्स पे। I want to practice clutch type again.
मैं तो कह रहा हूँ, मना थोड़ी कर रहा हूँ। एड्रेस
Let's practice it. Oh man. If it's easy from here and I should complete 50%, 50% is so good. Hey, easy. अबे यार यहाँ से मेरे को कूदने की छूट है ना।
अरे तुम्हारा मेरी चीज है ना, वो तो मैं पूछता था। भाई 3D का अलग है।
In this UFO.
हाँ तो फोन में काम करेगा भाई, 3D वीडियो रहेगा तो वो 3D दिखेगा।
Connect low. But I'm practicing the level. I'm not playing it, I'm practicing it.
हाँ दिखा दे यार।
Oh.
जियो हमारा जो देखना चाहते हो क्या,
अबे यार
जो हमें ना करने का प्रयास कर रहे हो, अधर्मी पापी हो, इन सबको हम स्वयं दंड देते हैं।
No.
यार ये वाला काम है, लड़की वाला काम फोटो भेज दो ना,
समझ दो।
फोटो
Part first. No, we have to play from this UFO.
अरे तो काम तो वही करता है ना।
see.
देखा मैंने अब मेरे से बात मिला है
Jump. बे यार मैं खुद ही मैं ओके
हाय मुझे छोड़ दे रहा हूँ
प्रैक्टिस करने की Oh, it is frustrating. ये वाले पार्ट में आके अटका था ना पिछले बार. Hello bro, flame dash main. Getting new viewers. यहाँ पे आना है. यहाँ पे आना यहाँ पे आने के बाद फिर यहाँ से अरे यार हट यार तो बहुत इजी है 85% तक तो कर सकता हूँ शायद Oh, I am thinking about, I know how to broadcast. I think your subscriber decreased. I have 49 subscribers. I can show you how to do broadcast. You have 49 subs now. One guy unsubscribed your channel, I think.
उसको हाथ लगने नहीं चाहता हूँ उसको हाथ
I will stream forward soon. I am thinking
छेद हो जाएगा
all world.
मूवी देखने जा रहा हूँ
New world map. Multiplayer mode. Okay. Countries. Scared life. Mode.
अरे अभी क्लास कर रहा हूँ
Deluxe edition.
बहुत हो जाता है
This game have 80% discount.
हाँ मतलब जो परमिशन देगा आवाज रिकॉर्ड करने की उसको, और जो आवाज
में कब आएगा डिस्काउंट? There is no Street Fighter. Dragon Ball Z, Arc Raiders. Call of Duty Black Ops. Alward सस्ता कर दो यार.